Hi everyone, my name is AJ Rousell and welcome into this very short video series called the Practice Proud series. In association with Prologix Practice Pads, the idea is to give a quick overview of some of the Prologix Practice Pads in the VRT range and then some exercises that go well with each one. The joy with the VRT range is that it stands for Variant Resistance Training, which means every pad, depending on the colour you've got, can depend on the level of resistance you have on your pad. So depending on the level of resistance can depend on what area of your drumming you're working on. And this is the pad we'll be looking at today, which is the VRT Compact Practice Pad. This was actually the practice pad that essentially converted me to using Prologix. I absolutely fell in love with it instantly. First of all, it's just nice and small. So it fits in my backpack nice and easily, doesn't weigh much. So if I'm traveling or just on the move a lot during the day, this is ideal. The second reason I like it is it's actually a two-sided pad. There's two different surfaces to play on. The first surface is the Prologix pad, and then the second surface is the Blackout series pad. Now the Blackout series does come in a full-size practice pad, and it's definitely the most resistant version of a Prologix practice pad. It's made from this very thick, open-celled rubber foam blend, I guess, with a fabric coating. And the idea is it doesn't really give you any response at all. It's the deadest pad that they do. Amazing for building stamina, for speed, for technique, for control, because you don't really have anything to work with. It's just you and the stick having to make everything happen. So for the exercise today, we're going to focus on the Blackout side of it, because I've already done an episode for the Prologix, so just use that one if it works. But for this one, we're going to use the Blackout. Now, this exercise is a really simple one. But just because it's simple doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. This is going to push your technique quite a lot. It's going to push your control quite a lot, which is kind of why I like using it. So this phrase is actually taken from my book, The Drummer's Odyssey. And there's a whole page in there on how to come up with other phrases similar to it. But we'll just take one for now. And it's just working with 16th notes and flams. So the idea is within a bar of 16th notes, can I put a single accent on each beat somewhere? So the way we're going to kind of structure this is beat 1, we're going to do an accent on the downbeat. So we're going to go 1, E, and the other 3 hits are ghost noted. When we move to beat 2, we're going to shift the accent over to the E of the beat. So we're going to go 2, E, and Beat 3, obviously moving it to the and, 3, E, and then beat 4, we're going to move it to the last 16th note. So 4, E, and So if we play the whole phrase straight through, the idea is every time we move to the next beat, we're going to shift the accent over by a 16th note. Here's how the whole phrase sounds. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So even as a starting point, that might be pushing your technique already to try and get those ghost notes as quiet as you can and the accents as loud as you can and all those kind of strokes in the middle and how that all looks. If that's the case, then sit and work with it for a bit. That's great. But I said that this is going to also involve flams, and this is where the exercise really pushes your technique at this point. We're going to do the exact same system, accents in the same place, counting it all the same. But instead of just an accent this time, we're going to use a flam on those accents. So if we go super slow, we've basically got flam, E, and 2 flam, and 3 E flam, 4 E and flam, flam. And that's the tough bit, is that turnaround, because you have to have 2 flams in a row. So you've got to really work on those strokes and how you get the stick up and down kind of where you need to. So the whole exercise, nice and slow, will sound like this. 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. And if we speed the whole thing up, we have this. Now, the reason I love this exercise, especially on this pad, the Blackout pad, is you don't have any response. There is nothing to work with when it comes to the stick coming back to you. So you have to really work out the kind of technique involved to make this happen. The joy of working with a practice pad with very little response is it means when you get onto a drum kit, well, you're kind of going to have the same thing on certain drums. If you're trying to play this exercise on, let's say, a big tom, or even a snare drum that's quite lowly tuned, you are going to have to work a little bit more for it. So if you can get it sounding good on this kind of pad, well then drums should be quite straightforward, because you'll always get a little bit more response than you'll get with this. If you then want to kind of get the technique developed on a pad with more response, just flip it over. So I hope that video was helpful. As always, please check out prologixpercussion.com to have a look at all their pads. Come back in for the next episode of this series, where I'll be looking at a different pad and giving a different exercise to go with it. Hope everyone is staying safe and well at the moment, and I hope to see you all soon.